So I'm actually in preparation to do some field trips to get some jade. I'm actually going to go to a real jade market in Asia, and I'm going to go to a river and pick up real jade from a river. And so I bought this jade here quite cheaply decades ago in Taiwan, and so I thought I'll investigate that more, so I'm more familiar with jade. And at the end of the story, you're going to see I'm never going to buy anything that's called jade ever, um, because you can't tell if something's jade or not. And this one is quite obviously not jade, and I'll show you why. And then I'll show you why you shouldn't buy jade. All right, but I will get real stuff from the river. Anything that someone's touched, stay away from. The first one was, this is the toughest stuff, the toughest known material, the hardest to break. So diamonds will shatter because they're brittle, and so diamonds are not the toughest stuff. Jade actually is. And even though diamond is the hardest and won't scratch, whereas jade is not the hardest, it's still pretty hard, around 7 or so. It's not the toughest stuff. The toughest stuff is jade. Two types of jade. There's the single chain silicates, which is jadeite jade, and that's just mainly from Myanmar, Guatemala. And then the majority of the world, including Taiwan, is nephrite jade, which is asbestos fibers, tremolite and actinolite. And so they're intertwined asbestos fibers, less dense but intertwined. But I just got a hammer and this broke super easy. And so it's not jade just from that. It does have a sugary, quartzy sort of appearance to it. I haven't worked out the relevance of that, so I'll just make a note of that. And then I scratched it with a knife, although my knife is probably more about 6.5 from memory, and it scratched as well. Another sign that it is definitely not jadeite jade or nephrite jade, and I'm thinking serpentine because that seems to be the most common thing. If I just jump down to where jade is found, nephrite jade, it's often the only difference is there's more calcium here, and this is a calcium altered basalt rhodonite, and so it forms near serpentine, and it's that seems to be the most likely candidate. And so what I did then, if that's not enough, I was just checking the density because it seems to be, originally I was just interested to see whether my jade was really nephrite jade and not jadeite jade, and I was going to do the densities. And so if it was less than 6.5, it was nephrite. If it was greater than 6.5, it's jadeite, which I still intend to do when I get some real jade by picking it up from a real river and not something that someone else has touched. And so just to be sure, I took an olivine peridot crystal. So it's something I knew and I could trust. Took the volume differences and measured the weight. And so that was just a positive control to see that this test works, even though that range is fairly big. It's smack bang in the middle. And then I took the two jade pieces, or fake jade, and did the same thing. And it was kind of crazy because even if it was serpentine, it's fine for the first piece. The second piece is 2.2 is below what a rock can actually be. You're starting to get into non-rock materials like plastic. And so just doing more research about jade, you don't have to declare this, and there's no way you can actually know. They can get rid of inclusions, which is terrible because I'm after the inclusions for their geochemistry, by bleaching it, and then you make it tougher and stronger but put in a polymer in. And once you put this light polymer in there, it can go below 2.2. They can also colour it as well, and that's just called Jade B and C, which they don't have to declare. And so it's highly likely, not only is it just serpentine, it's probably plastic. It's probably been possibly coloured, possibly bleached out to make it clear if we go back to those pictures, and possibly also a resin absorbed into it. And so I'm going to call this one a resin treated serpentine. And really the only way you can tell what a real jade is to use expensive equipment and to get the actual chemical composition. And if there's not calcium in there, it's not nephrite jade, it's a serpentine. And those sort of machines we don't have access to, but most people don't even have access to this. It's a metal balance that still costs thousands, and different size of glass test measuring cylinders not easy to get your hand on either, really. And so once you do a little bit of research, that was sort of an obvious non-jade, but you can get green crystals, green quartz, and you can get this one, not here, but serpentine that's really, really similar. That one's not even treated. Prehnite, and garnets, and they dead set look exactly like jade. And it's not so you're not allowed to go in a shop and break stuff like I did, or scratch stuff, or even do a density test. But even if you took these home, it's not as clear sometimes. It's just not that clear. And so even if it is real jade, you still don't even know whether they dyed that jade or treated that jade. So the only thing this has taught me, which is great, is do not buy jade. There's no point. Definitely go to the river, get a piece of jade, and then I'll do all these tests and confirm that is real jade. And so that's my goal. I'm still going to go to the jade market, have a look around. I might be tempted to buy something just for the sake of studying it. And even if it's a really well-known fake, I might even buy it just because it's a fake, just to investigate the fake properties of a different type of fake jade. All educational, really. Got no interest in the jewelry or something expensive. All right, so there are ways you can tell fake jade, okay? And lesson I learnt from that is don't buy jade. Certainly don't pay good money for anything that's called jade, even if it is real jade. Hopefully, too, we'll also go to the museum, jade pieces as well. All right, so lots of jade on the cards and lots of other rocks on the cards.